Hello, welcome to the video. I'm going to be testing my 4080 Super on Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm going to be doing it at 4K, 1440p and 1080p, but I'm going to be doing 4K first, so I've got that set here. Graphics-wise, I'm going to play with everything maxed pretty much, so most of the settings are on Ultra. We've got DLSS, FSR off. I will probably check out DLSS a little bit later on. We've got TAA on high. And then I've got the advanced graphics unlocked as well, so we've pretty much got everything maxed out here. So some of the settings only go to high, but the rest of them go to ultra. So these go to high as well, those ones there. So that's the settings. Let's have a look. So it's looking like we're getting over 60 FPS here, which is good. Check out some of the denser areas in the forest. It seems to dip down a bit closer to 60, so you look more towards 65 to 70 FPS. I was a little bit concerned over this frame time because it's kind of a little bit choppy, but you're still seeing the frame time stutter quite a bit. So like right there, big one. So that's dropped me down to 7 FPS there. But I think overall you're looking at a range between about 65 and 80 probably. We've got an average of 75 there. Yeah, look at this stuttering here. Pretty much maxed out on the GPU usage though, 98%, 99%. So it doesn't seem to be any problems there. But the rest of the GPU using 300 watts seems to be fairly average for this GPU now. I've seen after a few games, pretty much uses about 300 at 4K.
What? No.
But I'd say VRAM's pretty low on this, under 8 gig at the moment. So that's obviously not a problem at all. So it still holds up fairly okay, above 60 at least. I've not seen any dips down under 60. So it's still reasonably playable at 4K with everything maxed out. There you go, 65, 63.
Hold them off, fellas. Look out on the right. Hold it right there. We got some in those alleyways.
So even in Saint Denis here, not dropping too bad, still staying above 60 FPS. Looking at between 70 and 80 at least. Some drops down, but it still mostly holds that.
Kid, you okay? I'm good. Look out! Right, coming out of the bank.
So I'm going to have a quick look around the city area as well, just to see roughly what the frame rate's like. Seems like here at least, between 80 and 90. I've pretty much noticed it's not too bad from what I've seen. Saw it a little bit earlier. Didn't get too many dips. Still got that stuttering, but I think the game overall has that. I don't think there's really too much in a way we can combat that much.
I need help here.
So getting some dips down into the 70s. But it's giving us an average of 83, so it's not too bad. Not really getting too many dips down to 60 at least. We are getting a slightly lower GPU usage, seeing that drop down to 93% there. I'm still at 4K with everything maxed out, but I'm now going to take a look with DLSS quality, so I've got that set here. And it's looking like we're getting about an extra, maybe 10 to 20 FPS here. I think we had about 60 to 70-ish, so now we're getting between 80 and 90. So there's a little boost of FPS there. We had almost some drops below 60 before. I should imagine we'll get nowhere near that now. Dipping down a little bit here, but still above 70. I'm now going to take a look at 1440p, so you can see I've got that set here. Graphics-wise, I've got everything the same as what I had before, so everything's set to Ultra. I've also got the advanced graphics unlocked and set to Ultra as well. So having a look around the city area, looks like we're getting about 120 FPS here, 123 average. So that's quite a bit better than what we had at 4K. We had about 70 to 80. I think average of in the kind of low 80s. I think roughly what we had before. So a good probably 40 FPS average increase there, which is pretty good. Still got that stuttering issue though, so the 0.1% low, 19. It's not really ideal. But I am noticing GPU usage again here is dropping down to 93%. That was the same at 4K as well. And our GPU power's down a little bit to 285. Between 275 and 285 there, so it's down a little bit. Not massive difference, but a little. It looks like fairly similar FPS here to what we had in the city. So we've got almost the same average, 122, 123. Did obviously get some dips down under 110 in the city area. Doesn't look so bad here, although we just got 111, so still some dips. Might just not be quite as low. I'm going to try and get to a more dense forest area there. So still dipping under 110 there. So in some denser wooded areas here, some dips down, but it's still holding above 100 at least. I thought maybe it would dip under 100, but seeing 108 there, it's for the most part holds above 100. Not seen any dips under that, which is good. 100 almost dipping 100 FPS. Almost dipped under there, not quite. I'm still at 1440p, but I'm now going to check out DLSS, so I've got that set to quality here. Graphics-wise, we've still got everything set to ultra like we had before. We did have some dips closer to like around about 105 here, so we are gaining about 15 to 20 FPS here. I am immediately straight away, though, noticing difference in image. I think, I was saying at 4K, I think the biggest difference is you notice the anti-aliasing on this game quite. I'd say this game more than other games, really. You can tell the difference between DLSS on and off. Not saying it's worse. I think the lower resolutions in this game definitely benefit from the anti-aliasing and DLSS. Especially with that sharpening, if you increase that. The only downside is that there's sometimes weird issues you see with trees. I'm now going to have a look at 1080p, so you can see I've got that set here. Graphics-wise, we've got everything set to what we had before, so all the graphics settings are set to Ultra. I've also got advanced graphics unlocked, and all of those are set to Ultra as well. Seems like we're getting about 170 FPS here, so it's quite a big jump at 1080p at least in this area. Up from about 120 FPS average at 1440p.
Will you
What the
move?
heck is your problem?
And looking at the 0.1% low, we've got 56 at the moment. That's obviously not amazing, but the frame time looks a little bit nicer for me at 1080p here. Getting some dips down a little bit, 140. Definitely targeting that 144 hertz refresh rate at 1080p with everything ultra. I'm seeing a little bit of stuttering now with the frame time. It's definitely not as bad as the other two resolutions though. I'm also still getting this fluctuating GPU usage here. Seems like it's going a little bit lower at 1080p, obviously, as you'd expect. I'm seeing it dip down to about 89% there. I think that's the lowest I'd caught. Maybe it's dropped slightly lower than that, and I missed it. So we're getting about 120 FPS here, by the looks of it. We had in the city area about 150, so it's definitely dipped down a little bit. I think we had about 150 to 170 in that area. We're here, we're getting more 120 to 130. Definitely going to be obviously some lower FPS like we saw earlier. Especially around the forest areas, the dense forest areas. It looks like I'm stuck here. How do we get back? I'm still at 1080p, but I'm going to take a look with DLSS quality on, so I've got that set here. I'm not really expecting us to gain a ton of FPS. In this area, at least, from switching DLSS on, which it doesn't look like we are, really. Haven't noticed GPU usage fluctuating too much, though. Still at around about that 96, 97%. It's dipping down slightly, 94. But it's not really giving us a ton more FPS. Now, this area here does seem to be a little bit harder to run compared to down in the city. So as the area opens up a little bit here, getting closer to 130. So obviously you'll see a slight improvement there. Definitely quite a big range at 1080p it seems. Anywhere from 100 FPS to 170, 180 down in that city bit. So it's quite a big range of FPS. That's going to be it for this video. Thanks a lot for watching. Make sure to drop a like on the video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you next time.